Son of a bitch. Ah! The alarm deactivation. Yes, very hard, especially on a night like this. Well, hello again, Forrest. The sound really carries at night. Shit, I need that code to get inside. It's the new Woodside apartment building between the town hall and the trailer park, but I doubt any of your listeners live there. I don't have many neighbors. Oh, I sure am. Thank you, Forrest. Oh, thank God you're back. I've been so afraid. What's the code to the gate? Oh, I only moved in last week. I don't know anybody yet. There's not even a buzzer here, only the keypad for the entry code. Thank you, Forrest. I knew I could count on you. I'll sit out of sight. Call me back soon. Yes, he's after me now. I think so. He must have heard me on the radio helping you. I was out following a lead, trying to work out who would be next after Chuck, and I started to feel like I was being followed. So I came back to my apartment building, but this newfangled security system has me locked out. I need you to help me get inside. I think you gave me the wrong number on purpose. Well, I'll just do this the hard way. Maybe I've been helping more than you know. It is. I'm sorry, I probably should have. I'm sorry. I sure do. Maintenance? Well, if I tell you, I might just put more people in danger. Forrest, I don't have time. I need your help. Boy, I wish he'd muzzle that thing and now he's blasting David Scopo out of his window. This night can't get any... Oh no. He's here. The whistling man. He's coming down the street. I don't think he's seen me yet. Forrest, please. I need your help. I need the code for that security system, or I'm gonna die. I don't know my neighbors, remember? Please. I need to get in. No, I'm not. It's my neighbor's dog. Never mind that now. Forrest, I'm calling because I need your help. That's right. Very newly installed. I need the key code before the whistling man gets me. Oh, home is the safest place I can be. Please. The front gate requires an entry code to open. Thanks again, Forrest. There's a sticker on the box. It says, Starling Security 4000. There's a keypad, and it looks like it wants a 6-digit number. Thank you, Forrest. Only for the apartment door. The front gate requires an entry code. The future is electronic, I guess. Oh, it's too late for that now. Oh, fine. Chuck Brody was the next target, but that ship sailed. Then the whistling man will see me, Forrest. I can't do that. Yes, it is. Hey, wonderful show tonight, Forrest. You can call me Dawn. Could you play my tune, Forrest? Long Ride Home. Thanks. It'll be good to hear it again. No, Forrest. But, Forrest, well, I do love it. And I don't want to argue, but... Forrest? Peggy, I'm calling with more than a request. I know something. I think I know who's going to be next. Play my song, Forrest, and you'll find out. Hello again, Forrest. Oh, that call with the teens was awful. Those poor kids. Still, I'm glad the girl didn't get hurt. I wanted to ask you again to play my song, Forrest. You said you were going to play it, but you didn't. What, Peggy? Yes. Oh, well remembered. My name is Dawn, and I wanted to ask you again to play my tune, Forrest. Long Ride Home? You know, the one that Peggy said she threw outside the window? You do have it. It's just outside the window. But wasn't the whistling man just at the old murder house? That's miles from the station. It won't take you a second to grab it. No, that won't do. But don't worry. I think I can bring you around. Oh, but I think you will. We'll take care of Maurice Russell later. Am I serious? After everything tonight, you really have to ask me if I'm serious. Oh, Forrest. But Maurice Russell is dead now. You pushed him. You were up there. You were dressed as the whistling man, too, and you liar. That's right. He deserves to die. I didn't see any reason to. Why? You two were as close as anybody. I don't believe for a second you didn't tell him. Keep talking. Forrest? Forrest, come on, Forrest. Don't be like that. You're a talk show host. Talk to me. Henry, this is the man that kept you from doing the right thing tonight. Kill him. Really, Forrest? After all those calls tonight, do you really need to ask? Good to talk to you again, Forrest. You know, I've really enjoyed our chats tonight. Someone has to pay for what they did. That's right. Eugene's parents were there that night, too. But they got themselves killed in a bus accident. And since only their child was left, Mom and Dad are gone, Peggy. Besides, you forgot me. Just like the rest. You forgot. Everyone was in on it, Forrest. Even the coroner wrote a fake report. Said George was drinking, that he just got himself into trouble. And everyone's gonna know now what Teddy did. He killed George that night. This night. 20 years ago. His father covered it up from there. I searched for George's body all night, but 2 birds, 1 stone. Keep talking, Teddy. Quiet. You'll talk more later. Now I have to talk to someone who mattered more than you ever did. Peggy. It's been so long since I've seen your face. I worried you wouldn't come, and here I was, thinking you'd forgot me. And you're never gonna talk again, Forrest. I considered having you help me blow this whole thing wide open, but you didn't really sell yourself too well tonight. It was Chuck. Chuck Brody. Laughing away. But then he stops. And he's looking up. At the top of Whistling Point. Meanwhile, Forrest, I'm going to give you the chance to talk. You're going to help me reveal what really happened to George all those years ago. Have some patience, Forrest. It's almost the end of the night, almost the end of the show, but it's not over just yet. Got a little time still. So let's make the most of it. Ha! You sure did get me then, Forrest. I'm happy we have your cooperation. I'm happy to hear that. Have it your way. I want you to help me and Teddy tell the story, Forrest. Do a good job. And hell, you might be the only one to leave here alive. Henry, honey? He's all yours. Henry, kill him. Don't worry. I'll let Peggy know you asked about her before I send her your way. Don't mind him. He's just shy. I don't think I've forgotten about that, Forrest. Locking my sweet boy away like an animal. No! Henry! Get out of there! It hurt to be forgotten. If Ricky had told us, if he just told us, he and George would both be alive still. Now, I know you've done some good work tonight in piecing together what happened to George 20 years ago, and that's why I want you to interview us. Oh. Well, shame he didn't have the good sense to die earlier. He's gonna regret that. I did my part. I tried everything I could think of. I even went to the newspaper, but no. That coward killed the story. You sure that's what you want to do, Forrest? Last chance. I'd listen to Forrest. Everyone's gonna know now what you did, Teddy. You killed George that night. This night. 20 years ago. You're gonna talk when I talk to you. And not a moment before. Forrest seems lost for words. Let me just get this mask off. Damn uncomfortable thing. No wonder Mooney went crazy wearing this. There we go. I said you speak when you're spoken to. Well? He did. I taught my boy to never run away from a fight. Forrest Nash, let me introduce you, and all of Gallows Creek, to my boy, Henry Barrow. There's no excuse for what she did, Forrest. No, not done. No thanks. Me and Henry can handle it from here. You'd be disgusted by it. She found him in the river, but she lied about that to protect Teddy. Oh, I get it. You're wondering who's there at the station with you. keep your mouth shut. What card? Oh, what does it say then? Quiet now. George was a blip? I suddenly recognized it was Chuck. Chuck Brody was the whistling man. Laughing away. But Ricky was in on it too. I know he was. He and Teddy were as close as anybody. Teddy must have told him the plan. He was. And he was in on the whole thing. Good to see you too, Peggy. I looked all night. Jogger found him the next morning, washed up on the river. And instead of telling the truth, she lied. She said she found him in the reservoir. Enough about him. Me and George took off running, but somehow we got separated in the woods. I ended up near the bottom of Whistling Point, and when I noticed George wasn't with me, I panicked. And then, I don't know how he snuck up on me, but the whistling man grabs me. I scream, and he starts laughing, telling me it's just a joke. But well, it doesn't matter. He didn't run his mouth enough to tell anybody about it afterwards. He's still guilty. We looked up at the trees and saw Jason there, bloody, like he'd just been stabbed. And the whistling man, everyone ran, screaming. And George and I and Ricky, we got left behind. Good. Then let's talk about the night George was murdered. Teddy and Ricky were as close as anybody. I can't believe for a second that Ricky didn't know the plan. Thank you. You made George think Jason had been murdered. He thought his best friend was dead. It's the role he wanted to play. Because I think you believe in justice. You have no goddamn idea, Forrest. These people you've been trying to save, they were all in on it. They all knew George was murdered, but I felt like nothing was real. I felt small and confused. And even still, she should have told the truth. Wanna explain, Peggy? I thought we'd end tonight's Whistling Man special with a special guest. The one who started it all. Oh, let me take that out of your mouth and welcome to the air, Mr. Teddy Gallows Jr. It's all gonna come out tonight, Teddy. Your daddy and his money saved you 20 years ago. But even if he crawled out of his coffin with all the money in the world, because I'm not there with you, Forrest, I'm here with Teddy. And if he says where that is, well, he knows he'll get it. Disappeared? I was thrown out, Peggy. I begged Mom and Dad to do something about what happened that night, but did they care? No. They told me to stay quiet. They only cared when they'd learned I'd been with George. And it's not your fault. Really, it's Mom and Dad I should be seeing right now, but since they're dead and gone, well, I'll have to settle for the next best thing. What? End? When does it end? It has to. It never should have started. He shouldn't have pushed my George off a cliff. He should have been punished. But it's coming to a stop. At least for now. Here, where George and I first met, before he joined the football team. It was right after he shot the winning throw. That's right, Forrest. Not that it matters, but yes, we're here. I told you not to do that. He is. Well, no one's gonna forget now. Anyway, I think that about wraps up the interview with Teddy. So, yes, Forrest. He and I had a son. You've got no idea. You have no idea. And, yes,